Jonah moving to center. How do you feel about the depth of tackle, and who are the guys that you trust putting in the games out there right now?
Depth of tackle is the quality's good. The depth is a little bit of a concern right now. There's certainly the possibility that we may look to add somebody there. Obviously, just kind of see how spring unfolds. Some of these young guys are going to get a ton of reps. You think like a Tobias Raven, Justin Townhow that just got here. Because of the depth, they'll get 1 million reps. And it'll be fun to see them progress. But I mean, right now, Page and Murphy right now would certainly be the first two in there. But we're going to experiment. We got a couple of the other body types out there that we feel like athletically can move around and do some things. And obviously, we've still got a few freshmen that will be here with us this summer. So we're gonna toy around with the lineups a little bit, move some guys around. But it's certainly, of all the positions, that's one of the few that we know that we're going to either probably have to move somebody or bring somebody in.
Coaches, there's been PRPs going on throughout the offseason. Coaches have been out there. How do the players react today? First day, real live practice. How did that go?
Yeah, it always feels different, and especially with as many changes as far as the staff and obviously the defensive scheme. And so I think almost kind of like relief to just finally get out here and go. Just the process of getting these guys hired, getting the system installed, at least the beginning pieces of it, getting all the players here, just all that it entails. We could write a book about the last few months, and so it's to finally just actually all be out here together and go to work was a great feeling. And I thought the players matched it with great energy. I thought defensively, our patient approach to the installation showed today. You could tell we didn't have too much in, and that the guys were able to handle it. So good start.
You said you want to let Miller and Jaden kind of duke it out, this spring. What are you looking for in that for someone to kind of establish themselves? Are you looking to kind of name a starter by the end of spring camp?
I don't know. I would never peg myself into that. You got to let these things evolve. So we're going to rep, those two and Jake Jensen. We're going to rep all three of those guys. The three of those guys will take every rep here throughout the spring. We'll see how it evolves. But they all did some really good things today, and I'm happy about the addition of Jaden and how he's handled the first several weeks of being here in his first practice, and obviously great to have Miller and Jake back who have some experience in our room. So it's a really good room right now.
Coach, we're from DC. While you're getting these quarterbacks ready, you have a pro day tomorrow and your former quarterback. What's the NFL getting with Caleb?
Well, they're getting a great talent. They're getting a guy that's still very young in his career and has a lot to go in terms of growing and improving. But I know he's hungry and excited for that next opportunity, like all of our guys are. You go through this, you dream about it. The draft process is really long, and when you finally get closer to getting to that point where you know where you're going to go, it's a little bit of a relief where you can just get back to playing ball. And I know he and all of our other guys are eager for that. But tomorrow should be a great day. It's going to be, a highly anticipated pro day like there normally is here at USC, and we'll have all 32 teams here, and a great opportunity for Caleb and all of our guys.
When you see him up and close and personal, what's his strength?
I would say probably the natural ability, the ability to throw the ball off platform, the ability to move and create. He's got a good mind for the game. I mean, he's obviously a very good athlete, so he's got the skill set. It's just got to continue to sharpen and grow as it has over the last several years, and he's just got to keep that trajectory right now.
Lincoln, what was the decision to name you the quarterback coach?
Yeah, it was something that we explored. We actually talked about it a little bit last year and ended up not pulling the trigger on it. Just didn't feel like exactly the right time. But had another conversation after the off season, and we felt like Luke's experience, both playing and coaching the position previously. He's now has had multiple years in our system, and his familiarity with what we want to do was at a point where it made sense. It's obviously gives me a chance to bounce around and do a lot of things. I'll still be very, very involved with the quarterbacks. I'm certainly not leaving it by any stretch. But there are times when I want to be in the O-line meeting. There's times when I want to be in the defensive meetings. I haven't missed a defensive install this spring. And so to be able to bounce around but still be present there was ideal, and Luke's got the great skill set for it, and so far the guys have taken to it very well.
Was that tough for you to kind of hand off?
Yes. I knew it was going to be a great thing, and I mean Luke is more than capable. Lucky to have someone like him that has a skill set to be able to do it. But yeah, listen, when you've done something for 20 straight years, it's a little strange, but I've enjoyed it. I feel like it's allowed me to be more present in other areas of the program, but still, not leaving anything in terms of kind of, still having a role offensively and being able to do my part to help us win.
Coach, now that you've had more time to just think about last season, what did you learn from last year that you can apply for this spring and going forward to next season?
Just a constant climb. It's a constant climb. Every group is unique. Every team is unique. We've got. This team has a very different dynamic in so many ways. Nowadays your rosters are changing over 30-40% a year. And then on top of that, having half of your coaching staff change, there's a lot new. And so, but you just keep building. You take those experiences, you bank them. You know at times when they're going to come up again, how you're going to handle it. You have a laundry list of things that you got to do better. That I know I have to do better. That you plan. You put these plans in place to correct mistakes of the past and to keep moving forward. I need to do that. Our other staff members need to do that. Our players need to do that, and that's how you build. Because when you're winning and you're there, you're doing it by this much, and when you're not, a lot of times you're just that much away. That's just the margins in our game, and we're all fighting for every inch.
Lincoln, when you talk about wanting to, stepping back from the quarterbacks a little bit to focus on other areas, what was there, over the past couple of years that you've had now building this program, was that something that you feel like, or you felt like you needed to kind of do for yourself as a coach, as far as just kind of your personal evolution to say, focus a little bit less on this and focus a little bit more on a variety of areas?
Yeah, I knew at some point I would probably want to have a quarterback coach. I didn't feel like it was the right thing in the beginning, because I felt like the best thing in the beginning to help us win was to make sure that piece was right. And I think that probably showed a lot in that first year. But I knew eventually, and especially as some of these rules have changed and more has gotten thrown on our plate, I knew eventually that I would want to just be able to have more flexibility. I never want to leave it. I don't know that I ever will completely leave it. But at the same time, to be able to have that flexibility where when I want to go in another meeting or be present somewhere else, I know somebody else can step right in and handle it. Like that's huge. And then the other piece of it is the recruiting piece. I mean, I can't go out all the time. Head coaches are restricted on when we can go out on the road, and to have somebody that can be out there and evaluating guys, recruiting guys constantly was really important to me. And it just, like I said, it fit because we had the perfect guy on staff to step in there and make that happen.
When you're in those meetings, are you observing defensive meetings? Are you engaged in them? How do you kind of approach it when you're in those meetings?
I would say in the beginning, probably a little bit more observation. I have certainly a very good idea of what we're doing schematically, but when you talk about the finer details of this, I mean, I'm learning it. I'm further ahead than the players on it, but I mean, I'm learning it for the first time, kind of like they are in a way. And so, to be able to be there, to be engaged, to be able to have those conversations with our players, it helps me in my conversations with our defensive staff about what we're doing or about strategy. It's been a great thing. It's been awesome to be able to be in there and feel like that you're not missing out or costing the other side of the ball or another position group anything by actually being there. You don't kind of have that guilty conscience a little bit. So so far so good. Yeah.
How many coaches have you worked with that have made the immediate impact of seemingly Coach Henderson has made in a short time?
He's done a great job. He has. He's really taken to our players, to the recruiting. Obviously, he's got a great pedigree coming in here that commands respect of our players and commands respect of recruits across the country. And he really has an infectious energy and passion to compete that you really feel. So he's been incredibly impactful. But honestly, I would say the same. I mean, all of the new assistants that we've brought in have been we've been really pleased with. Our defensive guys have really gelled together. Anthony has really gelled with the offensive guys, especially tougher for him coming in just about a week before we got started. But man, he's out here coaching his tail off like he's been here with us for years. So really pleased with the Irish.
Thank you, Coach Riley.